This video is dedicated to the memory of David Crosby, 1941 to 2023. Good morning, everybody. We're going to conclude the week of reviews with another installment of our tribute and benefit concerts review series. It's been a while since we've done one. And this time we're going to take a look at one of my favorite tribute concerts to Brian Wilson, an all-star tribute to Brian Wilson, which was staged by his friend and compatriot David Leaf. He produced it in 2001 at Radio City Music Hall, and the bill is stacked with legends. I mean, legends like David Crosby, Vince Gill, Wilson Phillips, which marked the first of many reunions of Wilson Phillips because they hadn't been together in a number of years up to this point. And the Go-Go's, Evan and Jaron, who before this I hadn't ever heard of, Paul Simon, Carly Simon, Jimmy Webb, among others. And like I said a second ago, of the two tribute concert DVDs that I have, the other being the MusiCast tribute to Brian, this is probably the Radio City Music Hall tribute is probably my favorite. And I have several favorites on this DVD. But one of my absolute favorites is Wilson Phillips' version of You're So Good to Me, which, by the way, they dedicated to John Phillips because of the Mamas and Papas, because he had just passed away a couple weeks prior to the show. And another one of my favorites is Sail on Sailor, which was done by Matthew Sweet and Darius Rucker of Hootie and the Blowfish. And I think this was the ideal song for them, especially Darius, because he has that kind of bluesy voice that is perfect for the song. Another highlight for me is the opening of the show. The Boys Choir of Harlem did a rendition of Our Prayer from Smile, which I thought was beautiful. And of course, one of the most moving performances for me from the tribute was Vince Gill and David Crosby and Jimmy Webb's version of Surf's Up, also part of the Smile Project and Beach Boys album in the 70s. And but there's actually two performances that David Crosby took part in that night. The other one was in my room with him, Carly Simon, and Jimmy Webb. And every time I see that performance or the Surf's Up performance, I always get a little misty nowadays thinking of Uncle David. and and I thought um, the Go-Go's performance of Surf City was great too, because again they had that perfect energy for the song, because it you know it was perfect for them. And I thought Evan and Jaron did well too. Oh, another performance. Some other performers that I forgot to mention that were part of the night were Amy Mann and Michael Penn. They did I Just Wasn't Made for These Times from Pet Sounds. And Brian, the house band for the tribute was Brian Wilson's band. And as far as Brian's performances go, he did Heroes and Villains, which was the surprise of the night for a lot of people, because Brian hadn't done Heroes and Villains live for a number of years, because the story goes he was kind of nervous about performing it. But the story behind his performance of it at the tribute, and this was touched upon the Beautiful Dreamer documentary, which we will be discussing when we review Brian's Smile record in a future review. Anyway, the story behind the Brian's performance of Heroes and Villains as a tribute was that he there was a Christmas party at I believe one of Brian's band members' houses, and everybody was having a good time, and all of a sudden they heard Brian playing Heroes and Villains on the piano. As he would often do, he would play the piano, and they heard him play it on the piano, and somebody suggested that they do it, that he do it at the tribute, which was coming up quick, or coming up within a matter of like a year or so, and Brian agreed, and I really like this. I really like the performance. And something else that I was going to mention is that the performances are bracketed, by little biographical sketches by some of the other presenters, or some of the other people, some of the other celebrities that are present at the tribute, to pay tribute to Brian, like George Martin and Rachel Hunter and Cameron Crowe. I thought Cameron Crowe, when he was introducing one of the acts, did a tremendous job on his biographical sketch, because at the time he had just released Almost Famous, and I think he was introducing doing the Pet Sound segment. And another tremendous, and one of my all-time favorite performances from the tribute was Heart's version of Good Vibrations. I mean, they just blew they just tore it up. And so I thought it was tremendous. And but and Elton John and Billy Joel performed too. And Elton John did God Only Knows and Wouldn't It Be Nice, I believe, with Brian. And the only point of criticism that I have about this DVD is the performance of Billy Joel's performance of Don't Worry Baby. I thought it was a little too fast, and I don't think that Billy had the ideal. I don't think Billy was the right choice to perform that song. And another very moving performance was Vince Gill's version of Warmth of the Sun. I thought he did a tremendous job, and he has the perfect falsetto for that song too. And the show closes with Brian doing Brian and everybody doing Fun and Barbara Ann, and then Brian does Love and Mercy with the Boys Choir of Harlem, which I think was a nice touch. And as bonus features on the DVD, they have interviews with some of the performers, or all of the performers that were on the show. And then there is a bonus track of Brian doing Do It Again, which I thought was tremendous too. And that performance includes his nephew, Justin Wilson, on guitar. So overall, I hope you for those really that look at the community tab in the channel, there is no picture of what we're going to review today or a couple days ago, because I was experiencing technical difficulties when I was trying to post the pictures yesterday. So in case anybody looks at the community tab and wonders where the pictures were, that's the reason why they're not there. I give this 5 stars. Shot and produced by Adam Bauer. Audio and video provided by Pixabay, WeVideo, and the YouTube Music Library. Photo provided by Google Images. Screen recording taken from Wikipedia.